Look, this is a bunch of people in here. The first person that you put in the book is Goggins, and he's telling the story about this race and Goggins' feet. You guys are running this race together. Goggins' feet are all jacked up, and he kind of does a little pit stop to check out what's going on, and you just decide you're gonna keep running, and you say I assumed that David would get it figured out and would catch up with me, but I couldn't help having doubts. Maybe I won't see him again. But no, sure as shit, he caught back up with me and my brother, Taylor Spike, who was running the race. By the time he reached us, he was running in a different groove. Just as we were going up the last grade to do one more summit in the race, my calf began to lock up so I couldn't run. As I started to power hike up the hill, that's when Goggins took off. When I reached the top of the mountain, 30 miles into the race with only a couple left to go, I asked a cameraman who was up there how Goggins looked. Well, he had his shirt off. Remember, it was cold and rainy. And he was saying, "They don't know me. They don't fucking know me, son." Who was he saying that to? I asked the cameraman. Nobody. There was nobody up there.
Yeah. That was, because I was worried because I'm like, Goggins had to stop because he had to undo his shoe. I don't know what's happening with his feet, but normally in those races, people, just like I've made up an excuse to get in a fight so I can go out drinking. Yeah. People will say stuff and then they're pretty much done.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, is Goggins not who I thought? You know what I mean? Because I didn't know. You don't know. You see online.
You didn't know him, son.
I didn't know. And you read the books and you're like, I don't know. Those are just words. I don't know until I'm actually looking at somebody and actually see what they do. All the other shit, everybody says all the tough, you're like a badass. You write, make these stories, say these, whatever. And I'm like, fuck, that would suck because I've been looking up to him forever and for being a badass, right? And I was like, God, I hope that, whatever. I hope, anyway. Yeah, he proved that day and every other time he is the real deal. But I was worried and that got, he beat me in that race. So, yeah.
Yeah. I worked with him for a little bit when I was in the training detachment, and like we'd be out in the desert and we'd have to, we'd send the platoons out there, but we'd have target sites set up. And this targets would be like 10 miles away or 12 miles away. And, it's a bit of a chore to you got to bring all the gear up there and you set up these target sites that the platoons are going to hit. You got to put furniture in them and put lights on them and stuff like this. And we would load up the trucks and Goggins would just run out there. Mm-hmm. And you'd be like, okay, it's like right on. And the other funny story was there's another type of training that we do, which is close quarters combat. And going clearing houses, right? And when guys make mistakes, you get punished. And the way you get punished was doing tire pulls. And so you'd have tires and various other shitty things to do. And I show up to the training site and, I'm down in the house and watching guys do clearances and stuff. And David is not teaching. I go, what's Goggins doing? They're like, oh, he's running the tire drills. And I go, what do you mean? And I go out there and see him. He's just out there. When the guys would get in trouble and get punished, he would just do their punishment with it. He was like the freaking tire petty officer. It was freaking funny.
No, he's definitely, he loves to suffer. And yeah, I didn't know that, but and I realized in that race, and then we've lifted and we've run since, but where most people falter is where he actually gets better. And so that's pretty rare. I mean, you saw he loves training those fighters, and he's rough on the fighters. Yeah. Fucking Tony Ferguson and then Stylebender recently. It's just, he's just got a lot of endurance.
Yeah. He's been working on it for a long time.
Fuck.
Yeah. You mentioned Chris Williamson earlier, and this guy was I think the term, Echo Charles, you might have to check me on, party boy. Is that in his previous life, he was like a party boy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like nightclub promotion.
Yeah, and he was on a reality TV show. Did you know that?
I feel like I knew that,
Yeah.
but I didn't see the show.
And then he kind of woke up one day, you know, had like a little bit of an awakening, and he's got the podcast now, the Modern Wisdom podcast
The
and stuff.
accent.
Yeah, he's got a British accent and all that. Yeah, he woke up with that accent.
That helps. That makes you sound smart.
So smart.
Yeah.
He went and did lift run shoot with you, and you say this in the book. After shooting arrows, we took a warm up run up Mount Pisgah before grabbing the 72-pound rock in my truck. The clouds had settled over the 1,060-foot tall mountain, so we jogged in a thick fog for about 7 miles before heading back to the truck to pick up the rock. We took turns hauling it up the mountain. Chris learned something that everybody who comes learns eventually. There is no good way to carry a giant rock up a mountain. And that right there is just life.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to suck, and you just got to freaking get into it.
Yeah, that is hard. And people, they come and I usually say we did both with him. I wanted to, like, he's so well spoken and has such a good way of distilling things down. So I wanted him to like share everything, or I wanted to share everything. So we did the run, we did the rock. I took him to where I grew up, the little town, that tiny little logging town that I grew up in. And I just, you know, showed him, I'm like, there was like a manufactured home there and like an okay truck. I'm like, that was my dream right there. If I could have single wide, double wide, whatever. It's like a trailer, but then they got a little nicer than their manufactured homes, right? But still a trailer.
Like
still
with get a skirt.
Still
on the
showed up
trailer
on
and you're good to
wheels,
go.
right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I had that, a decent little trailer and a truck that ran and a job I didn't hate every day, that's a win. Mm-hmm. So I showed him that just because I wanted him, and now he's, you know, true to form. He's talked about that a few times, and he does a great job of, I don't know, just like putting that in context. But normally I tell people, okay, I said, do you want to run or do you want to carry the rock? Well, nobody wants to run because they know how much I run. So they're like, I think the rock would be better. It's not fucking better. It's not better. I guarantee you. But so anyway, we did both, and it was good.
I was out surfing with my buddy Seth Stone, and it's this spot where you can either go in on this cliff face where there's a decent chance you're going to get smashed, or you can take this long paddle, which then you have to go across the beach and a long walk home. And so we're out there for a while, and I was telling him, hey, you can go this way or you can go that way. And he goes, hey, which one is easier? And I said, well, it depends what you mean by easier, because like they're both gonna suck. You're gonna get freaking mauled.
Yeah.
So how far is it up Pisgah?
It's 1.5 miles.
It's 1.5 miles,
Yeah.
and it's 1,000 feet of elevation.
Yep.
Yeah, that's with 72 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's gonna leave a mark.
Yeah, it's just because it's on one side or the other. Mm-hmm. Tanner, my oldest son, is a little bigger, so he kind of rolls it behind his head. He's got the all-time fastest time. I mean, Huberman, I remember he's like, so who's the fastest carrying this? Some MMA fighter? I'm like, Tanner was filming because he was working for me. And I was like, no, it's this retard right here. And I said, and Huberman's like, well, what's the time? I'm like, you don't need to worry about that right now.
Oh, dang. Cold-blooded.
Yeah. And because Tanner gets it up there. I mean, he is a freaking beast. He doesn't get, you know.
Bro, he's tapping into those ranger roots too, right?
Yeah, he is. And yeah. So he's just tough. Just tough. He's good at rucking.
Yep. Rucking there's a natural level of ability in rucking that some people have, and it sounds like Tanner definitely got it.
Yeah, he's got that. He says that's about all he's good